Hello and welcome to the Miraculous Lightworkers channel. I'm your host, Wendy. Today we're going to be reading the October 26th entry from the Daily Meditations for Practicing the Course by Karen Casey. Links to where you can purchase a copy will be in the description box below. Today's entry is about choice. The opening statement says, "We try to adjust to the world we made." Might there be a better world than the one we're experiencing? A place free from violence and poverty, abuse and disease? The answer, of course, is yes. The Course teaches that we have created this world of experiences, and if we want something different, that's up to us. It's not coincidental that we've crossed the paths of our companions. We have decided we want what we experience together, or we would have created something quite different. This knowledge allows us to feel both grateful and responsible. It also pushes us to return to the drawing board if we want a different world. It's folly to settle for what we experience if it leaves us unhappy or dissatisfied. The better world is always a mere thought and decision away. Our companions will be there too. Let's not try to fit into a world we don't like. Closing affirmation. My mind is my tool for happiness today. It will follow the Holy Spirit's lead if I choose that voice. I think this is a really interesting entry because most people assume they're in a world that's not of their choosing and not of their making, and they feel victim to circumstance and that they have no responsibility in the matter and no control over it. But I think it's really an interesting thought to realize this is a very strong ego ploy to keep you disempowered, to keep you in the lie, to keep you from taking responsibility, to anchor in something that you don't want, because the ego thrives on that. The ego likes to look at a situation and say, in judgment, look at them. They're either better than me or worse than me. It's always doing this thing by comparison and contrast. It doesn't want to see sameness. It doesn't want to see commonality. It wants to paint a picture where it's not, because that's not how God sees them. He sees us as being the same. There's no partiality in God's opinion of us. Okay, so when it comes down to the concept that we've created this world of experiences, it puts the ball in our court. It puts us as the master of this arena, that we have full control over how the scene plays. We made it, and we anchor it in through our will. And if we didn't want it, we would choose differently. So we can't say, I want something other than what I have, but continue to choose to anchor in what is not peaceful, not joyous. You could simply be in that same situation and just change your mind about it, and then by virtue of that holy instant where you change your mind, you could find the appreciation, you could find the lessons, you could find a path forward through true discernment, true understanding, if you wanted to change your situations. I've always been a fan of the idea that I'm not a victim of my circumstances. Heard this when I was very young, and thank goodness I did when I did, because throughout the rest of my life I said, that's right, I never want anyone to see me as a victim. I'm in control. I have responsibility. If I have a situation in front of me, I choose how to respond to that. That's what shapes the whole experience. Nobody chooses for me. So I think it's really interesting too, because this kind of calls back to yesterday's entry, if you didn't read October 25th, you can go check that one out too. It says it's not coincidental that we've crossed paths of our companions. There's no coincidences. Even when it comes down to something as simple as the people that we come across in the grocery store or the doctor's office. Like, these people are there by our choosing, in a way, because we've chosen to be in that place at that time. And the experience can be a holy experience, it can be a learning experience, or it can be a dead experience where we just sort of disregard the people because they're either there. The ego wants to put it like this: they're either there for my benefit or they're in my way and they're causing me a problem. Holy Spirit would have you look at it differently and say, maybe you're there for each other because you need each other in this moment today to learn something specific. But the ego is always rush, rush, rush. It doesn't want to take time to slow down and possibly learn something, especially if that something might invalidate its own existence. It's a self-preservation thing on the account of the ego. Very interesting the way that thing works. So, yeah, I'll give you one more time this sentence here because I think it's pertinent. It's folly to settle for what we experience if it leaves us unhappy or dissatisfied. At some level, we have complete control, complete creative control. We have the reins and we are driving this thing. So if you have experiences that are making you unhappy and dissatisfied, you have to realize that it's within your capacity to choose differently. Give you that closing affirmation one more time. My mind is my tool for happiness today. It will follow the Holy Spirit's lead if I choose that voice. So I really pray that you do choose that voice, that it strikes you in the moment like inspiration, that you'll follow the Holy Spirit's lead to use your mind in a creative way as a tool for happiness, because it's not only just for you, but everyone else in your experience, in your path. You're magnifying the light and the beauty in this world if you so choose. So I thank you for so choosing to do that, since today's entry was all about choice. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate your time. And like, share, subscribe, comment, and join us next time as we all come together to uplift, enlighten, and ascend. Bye now.